Hi, this is Carrie Brownstein.
This is DJ Premier.
This is Darren Aronofsky.
You got the RZA right here.
Rose McGowan.
Radiohead.
Aisha Tyler.
Tribe Called Quest. Fred Armisen.
Prince Paul.
Javier Munoz. Seth Meyers.
Frankie Cosmos.
Flying Lotus.
Hi, we're Chaim, and you're listening to the Talkhouse Podcast.
Hello and welcome to the Talkhouse Podcast. I'm Josh Modell. On this week's episode, we've got two Canadian songwriters/performers with similar outlooks but pretty different results, both great. It's Adalea and No Joy. Though it used to be more of a band, No Joy has become the solo province of Levy and White-Gluz in recent years. She just released the first No Joy record in 5 years, Bugland, and it's a whiplash-inducing delight. There's an undercurrent of classic shoegaze, but no limits on where else things can go. So one minute you've got nods to 90s bands like Curve or even Garbage. The next minute, the guitars are grunting and crunching. Bugland, which recently got the Best New Music nod from Pitchfork, was created with help from Chicago producer/musician Fire Tools, and the collaboration was fruitful. It's funny because it doesn't sound at all like music that would be made by somebody who recently moved into a positively rural area. That's covered in today's chat. Check out a little bit of the title track from Bugland right here. The other half of today's chat is Alexandra Levy, who records more spare songs than her friend under the name Adalea. Where No Joy takes a more kitchen sink approach, Adalea leaves more breathing room, sometimes adding just touches of acoustic color to her voice. The third Adalea album, When I Paint My Masterpiece, also came out earlier this year, and its unfussy, live-in-a-room approach makes it feel engagingly up close and personal, not to mention beautiful. Check out a little bit of Baby Blue Frigidaire Mini Fridge right here. In this engaging chat, Levy and White-Gluz talk about living largely off the grid, the various mini scenes that populate their home country, and a little bit of astrology. Enjoy.
Oh my God. Are you just coming back from some shows?
Yeah, I was just in Toronto and Ottawa a couple of days ago.
I really wanted to make your Montreal show, but I was out in the bush. How was it?
It was fun. It's always overwhelming. I never play Montreal, so it's always overwhelming to play a hometown show because it's like I emerge for once every 5 years here and see everybody I've ever known.
Like you put too much pressure on yourself or your expectations are too high? What happens?
I don't know about you. I personally hate performing. So I'm just like, I'd rather just hang out with my friends and talk right now, but I have to go on stage and do this thing.
Yeah.
So I don't find playing shows always that fun.
I hear what you're saying. Just recently, I've started to enjoy performances a little bit more, maybe after such a long break of not playing.
Yeah.
But I could imagine too that after an album, I've been listening to Bugland a lot, and just I could imagine that it would be, if I were in your shoes, I would be anxious about a live performance because it's how do you bring the album to a live show? And I'm sure when you're recording your music, you weren't concerned about what it would sound like live.
I was like, this is never going to be played.
Yeah.
I don't usually think about how a record's going to become something. When I'm recording, I'm just here's the song. And I don't know if it's going to come out. I don't know if anyone's ever going to hear it or it's ever going to.
Yeah.
So the live part of it is always so much of an afterthought. And I feel the songs are just we're doing them live, pretty rockin', just so they fit with some of the older songs that are more rock. But I'm always curious to switch up. Do you switch up your arrangements? Tour to tour or show to show?
Yeah, you gotta. What's your big three?
My big three?
Yeah.
Big three?
What's your sun, moon, and rising?
Oh, my astrology?
Yeah.
I am a double Cancer. Is this obvious? Cancer, moon. I'm born Cancer, and then Sag, I want to say, is my other thing. But I had my stars read by, do you know Tamarin? She's like a shoegaze icon from San Francisco. She does star readings, and she did my reading in the winter, and she does it like really in depth. And she was like, "Oh, there was actually an eclipse on your birthday." So like all your readings are totally off, and like it doesn't really make any sense, and there's not really a way to like know what was actually going on because there was a lunar or some kind of eclipse. It was like when I was born, there was an eclipse. So it's hard to tell what was going on.
No.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I know. But then also it's like that tracks.
Yeah.
That tracks. But are you big in astrology? Yeah, you read all that. You know how to read that stuff.
I wouldn't say I'm skilled like whatsoever, but my moon is also in Cancer.
So that's probably why we both had a little bit of the like not loving being on stage or like a little bit shy.
Yeah.
But how'd you get over it?
And you just kind of enjoy being home. Like, I think we like being homebodies.
Yeah. And you do so much like other art too. How do you find time to do all the like visual art and music and like do you specifically go like today I'm painting. Tomorrow I'm doing music. Like do you plan it out or do you just do with it whatever you feel like?
To be honest, I haven't been painting at all, haven't been drawing at all.
Yeah.
I'm on this like feral cat rescue mission.
Oh.
And I have a pregnant girl. She's like just a kitten. She's 8 months.
Oh my goodness.
I brought her to a vet and the vet said that she's like too far along to do like a spay abort.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's like kind of the humane thing to do in the TNR world.
Right.
Anyway, she's going to have kittens here because she's due like any day.
That's really admirable. Like we took in a stray cat that was pregnant when I was growing up. And then we kind of tried to it was too late. She had her kittens. And then we tried to give some kittens away. But then some kittens ran away and they came back pregnant. Anyway, I grew up with like a cat colony that we had an entire generation of like many different cats and had to get them spayed by like the Vanier, like veterinary, like students who are learning how to spay. It was like such a thing, but I grew up around stray cats, like crazy cat lady. So I admire what you're doing because it is very important and it'll be very hard for you now to keep those kittens because they're probably going to be so cute.
Yeah. Well, I'm going on tour. I think that we found like a foster family in case she doesn't give birth.
Okay.
Right. Well, either way, I have to go on tour next week.
Oh, yeah.
So, next week, I guess.
I don't know. Do you also have a hard time remembering when you're going? Because I also am like, what? I go to Europe next week? What the?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Is it your first time going to Europe in many, many years?
Many years. Yeah. Yeah. Where are you going?
The USA.
USA.
West Coast.
That'll be fun. California.
Yeah, California, Butte, Montana.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Gorgeous. I could see your music doing great in that setting. It's very beautiful there. It's like very like open and mountains and glorious.
Really?
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
If I remember correctly, I did have an astrology reading last year, and the astrologer was saying that like basically from Winnipeg down, all the way down this line, all the way to the bottom, this whole zone would be like really good for my music.
Whoa!
And then the further I get from it, the more difficult it'll be for people to connect.
Did this astrologer know anything about the music industry? Like, there's more people on either coast that are probably like
that's
savvy.
what I was saying. Well, so he does actually work. He's Irish and he works with like I think Damien Rice and like Gwen Hansard, like some Irish folk legends.
Okay.
And so he also helped with the release where I was like, nothing makes sense anymore. You know, labels don't know anything.
Yeah.
Everything's changing. Everyone's like, you know, we don't know. The landscape is constantly changing. So I'm ready to listen to whatever you say. And so he was saying that, like, I guess this period in which we released our album the same day.
Yeah.
But what's up is now down. Everything is reversed. What was popular before is not popular anymore. It's a really good time for like something completely different.
Yeah.
And so this really works for your music.
You too, August 8th, baby. We did it.
Yeah.
It's funny, too, because when I had my reading, and I was like, honestly, I was kind of like, no fucks given. I was just, this is going to come out. I don't really care. Like, it's coming out when I'm putting it out. I'm not paying attention to like, at this point, I was just like, let's just get it out. I'd been sitting on it for like 2 years. And
Really? Okay.
yeah, and Tamara, who did my star reading, she was like August, I forget the exact date she said, but she said, yeah, same thing as you. Like, this is the moment, you should do it. And then she said, you're going to win a prize on the day that I got, and that day I got Best New Music. And then she picked the day. So I like texted her that day being like, holy shit. Like, that is crazy that you actually knew that somehow.
It's like a whole other thing, like astrocartography. So it's like wherever your lines are, you can see just like on the world map, like where your lines kind of intersect. And then, yeah, she would probably be able to tell you.
That's wild.
Just by looking like where it would be worth like going. But I don't know if
Japan. I would love to go to Japan. I hope she says go play Japan. I don't need the stars to tell me that. I should just go.
Yeah. Where has your like favorite place been to tour so far?
We've only done a little spurts here and there. So like we did New York and DC and Philly, and then we did Ontario, and we're doing like little bits just because I'm too tired to do like a big ass run. Are you doing big long runs? Yeah.
Well, I did like 11 days.
Yeah. That counts.
Like 3 weeks ago, and then we have like a month off, and then doing like 25 days. Like not dates, but like 25-day tour. So
25 days in a row.
Is that long?
I was thinking back to like early days of touring when we would go for like months at a time, being like, yeah, that's fine. How the hell? I would never do that now. I can't do it. Yeah. I admire, but like I think 25 days is like the max. And after that point, once you're over a month, it's like I need a little timeout. Yeah. So it was like right after when touring started again, I guess, right? Like, and I feel like we did a bunch of touring then, but so did everybody.
Yeah.
It felt like everybody just went out hard at the beginning when the venues opened again, and it was like, go, go, go. And after that, I was like, nah.
Yeah. Too much.
I don't know. Like you, like I like being at home. I think it's good to, it also makes me like take every show not for granted. Sometimes when you have like a million shows in a row, you're just like, you're going through the motion, or me anyway, I felt like you might go through the motions at a certain point because you're just like a robot. You're like, get up, get to venue, sound check. But when it's like spread out, I have more time to be like, okay, this show, we're going to do this, and it's going to be like this, and I'm going to have this. And it's a little bit different every night, which makes it more interesting for us when you're like doing, you're like on the road every day. But do you like recording more or touring more? Live or recording?
I like writing more than
both.
All of those things.
Do you have just like a million songs lined up already? Like you have like a catalog of stuff you've written that's not out yet?
Yeah, like I was talking to my partner about this because I feel like the easy part is the writing, and then the hard part is the like public facing endeavors, and that really just like I find it so draining. But it would be better. I think I would be like releasing more music if I could lessen the gap between the writing and then the recording. So that it's all integrated.
Oh yeah. Where did you record this record? You were
in a couple different places, but mostly in Ontario, like in rural Ontario.
Wow.
Yeah.
But the other ones you've done in the past, they were always like in Montreal studios?
The first one was in Montreal.
Yeah.
I think I went to Break-Glass for like the beds, and then did most of it at my friend's studio in Hunsik. Mm-hmm. And then for the second one, I went to LA for like 2 weeks and recorded it there. Nice. And then recorded some at my friend's church. Like, wow. Yeah, each album has been, it's not really like the way that, your last one was, where it's a real like collaboration with Angel.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk to you more about like moving out of the city and stuff.
But so when did you leave Montreal?
You're still in Montreal, but my boyfriend has like pretty much left.
Okay. Right.
Yeah. For work.
And it's like a good distance away. How often do you spend in the city versus outside the city?
I would say I spent most of my time in the city.
Okay.
And then we did only have one vehicle for a very long time. So I would like have to take a bus and a train it would be like either any way you sliced it, it was like a 6-hour trip.
Wow.
trying to get out there. So
Yeah.
now he just bought like a 1994 Ford Ranger
Hell
that
yeah.
has already spent 1 week in the auto mechanic.
It's okay. Needs a little love, but that's a cool car.
But when we have two cars, then it makes it easier for me to like get out there,
Yeah.
and I could spend, a good amount of time there, but there's no running water.
Oh, wow.
And before, like last week, there was no electricity. So, you would, in the winter, it was almost easier because you could like collect snow, you boil the snow down to like water, and then you can take a shower. We have like this like camp, like shower head.
Mm-hmm.
He had to get himself all set up because he had to, he has a teaching gig. So it's like, I need to be showering.
Yeah.
But yeah, so a good amount, it's kind of like camping with a roof. So,
Wow.
and up until last week, and now he has electricity. So,
Wow.
yeah.
That's the real deal. Like, I feel like I said I moved rural, but like I'm lying. I'm just kind of like in a little like town. I'm on the sewage system. I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. I'm like, there are people that are more like have a well and that kind of thing near me, but I'm definitely in the like village part of the town, of the small town.
Yeah.
Do you find writing easier when you literally don't have electricity or running water? You're like, well, I can't like doom scroll Reddit right now. I better start to write some songs. Do you find it easier to write when you don't have distractions?
To be honest, I find it more difficult because you just feel so disconnected from the grind, from the online life and you're worrying about, getting enough firewood and stuff. So I don't know, you just music just feels so silly in a way. Like it's this activity that feels very luxurious. And then, if we're kind of bored at night, then we'll play some music almost to entertain or to occupy the space and time. But it doesn't feel like it's that necessary when you're trying to collect firewood.
But then in the city, you find that it's like you can make time for it.
And I guess having a space dedicated to it. Like,
right.
I was reading an interview of yours where you were like, I thought that moving out of the city, I would, be going more folk or kind of like more into a natural sound, and that you actually wanted to like plug into an amp and like play really loud.
Yeah.
But like you need electricity to be able to do,
of course,
to like make like a rockin' sound. So.
Yeah. That's really fascinating.
Do you have like a barn or something that you play, or are you playing in your main place, or?
In my main place, I've got like a little scrappy studio set up.
Okay.
It's pretty scrappy, and I'm
awesome.
just usually like on the floor with like a million cables all tied up in knots and just like trying stuff out. And I find that I would do most of the writing in the winter.
Yeah.
In the summer, I'm just like, no way. I got really into open water swimming. So I've just been like swimming all the time. And like music is like, I don't even want it. I'm not even touching a guitar for like months. I'm like doing other stuff. But in the winter, I don't know if you do winter sports, but I do not. So people are like cross country skiing around here or snowshoeing. And I'm just like, nah, I'm going to lock myself in the studio and just like try to plug some things in and see what happens. So that's Bugland was that, where I just like locked myself in a room over a winter.
For how many winters? It was just one?
It started I had an old demo. Like when I first reached out to Angel Fire Tools, I had an old demo, and it was actually in the summer. I reached out to her saying like, hey, do you want to try working on this one? And we worked on it, and it was like so crazy. I was just obsessed with it. It was a song Bugland that I was like, okay, we should do a record. So then that winter I started writing and sending her stuff, and it went on until by the time we were done, I had to have been like 2023, I guess winter 2023 into 2024. I can't remember now, but it was a while. Like everything was done. Everything had been finished by like spring 2023. Yeah.
Okay.
So it was like done and ready to go. And then I just sat on it. And do you find like being in the city, do you find being around other musicians is inspiring? Or like, do you find it helpful to be part of like a community? Because one thing that I did notice once I left the city was I was just less in touch with what was going on. And on one hand, I think that was sort of freeing creatively because I didn't know what was cool or like what was going on. I was just like doing whatever I felt like, which is what I would normally do anyway. But I didn't have any outside influence. But at the same time, I also wasn't like inspired by anything because I wasn't going to see any shows or like meet new bands or anything?
Yeah, I think maybe because of my astrological placement, it's not like a scene that like musically energizes me. Like I think being around friends and stuff is energizing, but then musically, I don't think it's not my scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trying to explain Montreal music scene to people who don't live here is always interesting because it's like basically fragmented as well, where you have like English and French micro scenes happening. So you can have like an artist that's very popular, has their own like fan base, but it's only exists within like the French Montreal music scene, and it doesn't translate to the English Montreal music scene, and vice versa. And that is sometimes a concept that's like hard to explain to someone because it doesn't really exist. So like split down the middle, where it's like, yeah, this like niche, like, I don't know, like goth electro scene is actually two split by language exclusively with like their own labels and their own booking agents, their own everything. So it's like a pretty unique place to be, but also because of that, I also agree that it can be hard to find your footing sometimes because it's so fragmented and so specific.
I have noticed that I feel most inspired like on tour. I think there's something with like the moving around, getting to see the like local acts that I'm more inspired by that than like staying in the kind of same place. But
Yeah.
I don't know if you felt this, but I definitely feel like I haven't been welcomed by the Montreal community the way that I feel not as deserved, but I would have expected, by now of like the amount of like activities that I've like coordinated and shows that I've been to, that I've put together, shows that I've, like sat in on. And that's just, it's hard to, it's hard to.
That's interesting because from an outsider's point of view, I thought you were like pretty welcomed in Montreal, but I know what you mean because I think it was I only really felt like, hey, people know I'm from Quebec. Like on my last record, I feel like on our first couple records, are you guys from LA? It's like, no, we were always from Montreal. I've always lived here. I've never left. But on Motherhood, I felt like there was finally some Quebecois like recognition there. But that's interesting because from my perspective, I thought like you had like a pretty solid like Quebec industry fanfare behind you. That's what it looked like from the outside. But it's funny too. Like things like, there's sometimes it's like, I feel like in Quebec or in Canada, really, you have to like make it with quotation marks somewhere else for them to like welcome you back a little bit.
Yeah. Have you felt that like going back, I mean, in a way, being able to see the local shows if you're in town for like a weekend is probably energizing, but is that one of the reasons you like left? Like what inspired you to leave the city?
We got evicted. We got kicked out. It was just, it was so expensive. And honestly, just outside the city was less expensive. And it was just once we got here that I was like, oh, I'm not meant to live in the city. Like the city always sort of stressed me out. And I was spending a lot of weekends driving to find like swimming holes or like walks or nature stuff. I was always leaving to try and find somewhere. And I think that's part of why I liked being on tour so much too, is that on tour we would do those things. We would like find like a hot spring or find like a hike or like, okay, I said hike, but I don't go hiking, but we would find like we would find nice places outside and wherever near the show. And like, but being in the city really stressed me out. And then once I got more in nature, I was like, oh shit, I should have done this a long time ago. I think it allowed me to like stop trying to compete with whatever, not compete, but try and involve myself in the scene or like go to every show and like see everybody and play. And that, like just being so far removed from it, it's like, well, it's going to exist and continue without me and I'll pop in when I can. But right now I'm like more interested in like this plant over here or like that pond. Like I just like I got to like pay attention to things I didn't pay attention to before because it was just so busy. I love Montreal and the show we just played here was like so fun, and I definitely owe the city a lot for sure. but I like not living there.
Yeah.
You know, it's nice to be
Yeah.
able to get out, and I think I've appreciated it more being able to leave and come back.
That's how I'm feeling too, where I'm just kind of disenchanted with like the hustle. But I know that it will also take like maybe a year before I will be able to move out of the city.
Well, you're also touring, which is like always kind of a nice break from home too.
Yeah.
Do you have those people who are like, so when's the next record? Even though your record just came out.
I was gonna ask you that. What's the next? Do you have like an idea? So with Fire Tools, it was kind of just a random fluke. You wrote to each other and then it really worked out well for one song. So then you committed to an album. Do you have an idea of like what you would like to do for the next one? Or are you just kind of like letting yourself be guided? Have you recorded a new one yet?
No, I don't know if you're the same like as me. Well, you like to write a lot, so you're probably more prolific. I take a long ass time. Like it'll take me years. It'll probably be another 5 years before if I do anything. And every time I put out a record, I'm like, that's it. We're done. No more. I'm not doing it again. That's it. And I like doing it that way because it's sort of like it makes me say like, if this is the last song I ever release, am I going to be happy with that? Like if this is the last song on this record is the last song I ever put out, am I okay with that? And if I'm like, yep, I'm super proud of that, then I know. I tend to write in spurts and ideas. So I'll just have like one melody or one sound and I'll just like put these ideas in and then sort of like patch them together over time.
What do the songs sound like? Like before you were sending them to Fire Tools?
Some of the ones, like the first one we did, Bugland, when you listen to the original demo, it's not too different. Like Fire Tools added like a really sick like 7-string bass line and like some synths and stuff and definitely the drums, but the overall demo is not super different. But then there's other songs that like I literally just had like a vocal melody and like one guitar, and then she kind of built more stuff on that and then sent it back to me. And so I kind of work like from the ground, like little pieces, and like sometimes I call it like lasagna, where you just like you have this and then you put this and then you put a little of this and you put a little of that, and then until you're like, okay, we're ready. But sometimes they start out vocal and guitar and they're like pretty much standard, song structure, but more often than not, they're just like a drum loop and like some weird sound and then a vocal line over the weird sound, and then we break it down and then build it up again, and then break it down and build it up again. So they do transform a lot, but that's my favorite part, is like going to the studio and being like, here's this fucking little 45-second loop. Let's make something out of this and see what we can do.
Are you using Ableton?
Sometimes Ableton, Logic, Appleton. Yeah, I use all kinds of stuff. I use like a Tascam 4-track sometimes. I use Logic a lot. Most of the time, Logic is like the main brain that I'll use. But usually it's like a combination of things. So get GarageBand going in there too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Ableton sometimes for like some of the drums. It's kind of like chaotic. Very chaotic.
Yeah.
I've made this comparison before where I kind of use songwriting I compare songwriting to food poisoning. Where if you're just like, I need to puke, like I have to get this out right now. So it's like songwriting is like, I have an idea, I have to get it out right now. It might be like done in the most haste, like crazy way, but I just need to get the idea out. It's very messy. It's usually very messy. What about you? You got songs ready?
Yeah. I think maybe this is why I'm so inspired by this album of yours, is like it's opened up a new way of writing that I maybe like didn't let myself explore before. Yeah, I think maybe just being so tied to like traditional song forms, having an idea that like a song, if I can't like play it on the piano or even a cappella or like on the guitar, and that you would like be moved by it, then like there's not a song there. And so like this is just so limiting. Yeah. And it's sometimes like not that, for the most part, it's fun. But I think that I would prefer to to play around and to see what comes and to not be so rigid in my thinking.
So when you're writing, does it always start on piano or guitar?
Yeah, I'm like never on a computer.
Whoa, crazy.
Yeah, is that crazy?
Well, no, it's not crazy. I think that's probably like, ultimately, I think like the sign of a good song, which is why I think your songs are so timeless, is because a good song to me is like, if you strip it down to just piano or guitar and it's still a good song, then that's a good song. And there's some pop songs that you'll hear that are like so elaborate with arrangement and like so much production. And if you strip those pop songs down to just like acoustic guitar and voice, they're still amazing songs. I think that's like the barometer for me for good songwriting. I think that's why your songs are so great. But also, I think there's something fun about like taking your piano melody, throwing it in MIDI, fucking it up, and then sending it back out to like an amp with like a pedal through it, and like you have the same part, but it's just like doing something totally different.
I want to do that.
I think you.
I'll
remix your album.
Yes. Yeah.
You got to lean into the chaos too, because sometimes it doesn't work. Like sometimes I've done that and like the songs sound like shit. I think when you're writing, probably, like you said, like writing with piano and guitar and your voice especially, it's like emotive and it's something that can connect. Whereas sometimes when you do things that are too digital, it can connect, but like in maybe a less human way or in like a very different way. So I understand the hesitation to like get on the computers, because also you got to do what you're good at. You're good at this. Like you don't need to, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Well, it feels broke. That's what I feel like. There's a kind of, there was a wall and now maybe there's a door and I must
you must emerge
to the other side. Cause, I mean, it's not true that I've never gone on the computer.
Yeah.
There are lots of songs now that I'm thinking of that did start out that way. But I think what also happens is I'm so disorganized that it makes it easier almost to have like a song title, your lyric page with the chords, and for it to not exist, for it to only exist like almost in the mind. And then if you start having files, you need like your hard drive. And then where do you save the file? And what folder does it go in? And then how do you remember to open that file back up?
If you saw my desktop, you would have like anxiety attack. It's like you don't. Mine is just like pure mess. And then, but that's part of the fun I find is like, if I'm starting to write something, I'll go through these like audio notes or these like demos, and I'll just go through. And that's what happened with that song Bugland. Was like, I just found this demo from 2016. I was like, oh shit, this kind of works. We never made it work before, but like maybe if I add something here, and like sometimes sometimes you got to let it cook. So you got a little demo that you do, and it's like not right for right now, but like maybe if you go back to it and give it time, when you come back to it, it'll be ready for you. But I think also it's interesting because maybe you've reached a point where like you've perfected your style. Like you've done what you think is like your strongest to date in the style that you do, and you're now ready to like push and try something else because you've kind of like maybe beat your expectations for what you can do in this format, and you just want to do something different to challenge yourself, maybe.
Yeah, that's for sure. Do you think you're going to release like an EP of your demos? Anniversary?
I do. I have a Patreon that I sometimes use that I forget about sometimes, but I usually post them there.
Oh, cool. Did you post them there before the album was released?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, and sometimes on Bandcamp Day or something like that, I'll put up a demo. But sometimes there's a lot of these songs on this record have original demo parts in it. Like we kept a lot of the original demos. Sometimes, when you're tracking a guitar or something, and it's like, even if it wasn't recorded like the best, it's the take, it has the something. So Bugland has a lot of like original demo parts still on it, for sure. Also because I didn't know how to recreate some of it. Like I'd get a guitar track and be like, that sounds sick, but I don't write anything down. So I didn't write down like what pedals I was using or what. There was no way to like figure out how I made that sound, so I couldn't recreate it. So I was like, well, we gotta use this original demo version.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think that gives me strength and motivation to go messy.
Do you go back to like old stuff that you've written? Do you ever go back and look at your like stuff you didn't release and kind of see if it could come out?
Yeah, all the time. When I record, what should I record?
Are you gonna do like an EP?
I think so. But I would like to start working on like a new album in a different way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one just came out.
It just came out, but we recorded it in like 2023. I had written the songs mostly in like 2020. You know, some of those songs
Yeah.
are so old that
Right.
I'm ready for things to be like a little more messy, less pretty, less afraid also of like what people will think.
Yeah. Not doing it for what people will think, I think is like a definite I mean, it's nice in your case because people love it. So it's like people think it's really good. So that's like obviously really nice. But I think when you're making music, it's like I used to think it was kind of like I write music and record music and I don't really care if people like it. I never cared. I don't give a shit. If you like it, great. I don't care. And I used to think that was pretty cocky and like self-centered and like this is like kind of an asshole attitude to have. But as I got older, it was like, no, because what if you're making music for people with the expectation of what they want to hear, you're gonna dilute in some way what you want to do.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. If you like it, that's great. If you don't, then don't listen to it.
How do you like before an album is released, there's no fear of like what people will say?
No, I could care less. I mean, I really don't care. I think, you know what, probably if I did care, maybe I would have more listeners. Like probably if I did pay more attention, I would be making stuff that's more accessible and maybe like be bigger than I am. But I don't really make anything for anybody else. It sounds like pretty altruistic. The goal was like never to make money just because I figured I wouldn't make money. So like then who's making money in music? So I'm going to just do whatever I want because the odds are I'm not going to sell 1 million records anyway. So I'm just going to, you know, explore creatively what I'm doing. And yeah, like I don't know. I think that helped being outside the city, to be honest, because I didn't know what was popular. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
And like even now, like I'm Shazamming Wet Leg. Like Jesus Christ, I should know what that sounds like. But like, oh my God, I'm in the bar Shazamming Wet Leg. Like I don't know what it is. So I feel like I don't know what's going on. So I'm like genuinely just doing what I feel like. But that's also that might be like I'm over 40 now, so that might be a thing that happens when I'm just like, oh well. I'm like midlife. Like, well, we're just going for it. And, you know, we've put out records where, like, I feel like on More Faithful, the record we did, like, 10 years ago, we were pretty, like, in it. You know, like, we're going to be the best, tightest band, and we're going to do it. And then for me, it was a little disappointing because we were just, like, working so hard, but I didn't know for what. Like, what, do we think we'd be the biggest band in the world? Like, what? I don't know. So since then, I've always kind of just do whatever you want, you know?
Yeah.
It's you're the tastemaker. They got to catch up with you.
Yeah. I feel that way up until a certain point, like right before it's going to be released. And then there's just like, I'm shaking in my boots. Like if I get an email from the publicist, I'm like shaking. Like I don't even want to open the email. What did this person say about the album? I can't even look.
You think someone's going to be like, Adalea wrote the worst record of all time? You think someone would ever say that?
In a way, it would be so liberating if they did, because
yeah.
then it would be like, okay, awesome.
It's
like
over.
For someone to feel so strongly about something.
Yeah.
But I guess there's like a general discontentment with the creation process that, you know, for your album, you walked away and you were like, if I die right now, and this is the last album that exists, I'll be okay. Yeah. And for me, I guess like this last album, if I die, like I'm scared to die, basically. Because
you have more to say. You have more.
I feel like it isn't, I didn't reach the thing that I needed to reach. So
I mean, I think that's also interesting because it's so good and you're at such a high level that's interesting that you feel like you have more you could do, because that's also exciting as a listener, because it's like, oh damn, she could do better than that. Like, whoa, like you
right.
that has also to do with it probably being a little old, Because you probably have so many ideas now that you're like, okay, I'm ready to like move on and try something else, you know?
Yeah. I just turned 34, so
Yeah. You're ready to
I'm
like
ready to
try some stuff. But I think that it's normal to be a little nervous about critics. I think getting any kind of review is such a very peculiar thing that doesn't exist people get job reviews, like when you're on the job and you get your performance review or something like that. But when it's somebody giving a critique of your art, you're literally pouring yourself out, like so vulnerable to have people just sort of give their thoughts on that.
You work on something for 4 years and then someone like comes in and is like, I have a thought about this.
Yeah. Yeah. And sometimes the reviews get more like can reach more people than your music did. You know, so more people know about the review than they would have heard your stuff just without the review. So therefore, the review is like sort of sculpting the way they listen to your record.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, music journalism is important, and it's really hard to do. I remember when I was writing for Exclaim, like I used to review Screamo stuff at Exclaim, and it's hard when you're just like listening to so much stuff, having to write about so many things all the time. It can be really draining. And so I do know that it's hard to be a music writer, especially probably now where you need to like have so much content and like so much stuff out there. But I think I can safely say I don't think anyone would ever be like, Adeleo's record is like the worst thing I've ever heard. I don't think you would get like scathing reviews. I think your stuff is like critically.
That's my new goal.
To get
my new goal for my next album. I was talking to Young Jesus.
Oh yeah,
and he's like, I just want to make an album that like people feel something. I'm like, yeah.
There's that.
But you hate the. I'm gonna make an album that everybody hates. Like, what's the lowest score
kind
you
of
can
cool.
get?
That's kind of cool. I kind of like that idea. Like if you just put out like a harsh noise, like unlistenable record. I'm just like, what do you guys think now? But honestly, I think you would still get good reviews because you'd be taking a risk.
Yeah.
And I think taking a risk is admirable in any art form. I think like at the very least, you got to give it to somebody who's like trying to push it, you know?
Did you feel like you were taking a risk with Bugland? And is there another album of yours that you would have expected would get Best New Music? Like, what's the underground No Joy album that could have gotten Best New Music that didn't?
I don't know. It's hard to say because I think it also is just like time and place, and there's certain uncontrollable things about it, like the astrology readers have said, like just putting out the record like at a certain time, and maybe other records of mine came out at times where like if it would have come out a year later, or a year before, 10 years later, 10 years before, it could have been something else. But those are things we can't really control. So can't really say. But usually my approach for making stuff and making Bugland was just like, if I think if things are looking like I should be doing something this way, do the opposite. Like just do something that like sounds kind of stupid, or do something that like feels kind of wrong. Like do something that like makes me uncomfortable, seems wrong, or like, is this too crazy? Is this too weird? And just like I'm sure you've felt this too, where like I find that when you do photo shoots, like if you're doing like a fashion shoot and like some styling, you're like, this seems like it would not look good right now. Like this combination of clothing, I don't think looks so good. But then you see the pictures and you're like, oh, okay, it did. Because like somehow it all fits together. So like when you're putting together a record, it's like, I don't know if these things should go together, but we're going to try. And then you kind of like create this world so that they do fit together in a way.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think like any risk, like if you release like an a cappella record with like a harmonica and I don't know what else, like a triangle, because I know you play harmonica, yeah? Yeah. If you just did like a simple record, then it's like, at least you're going for it. You're trying something different. And I think that's like, that's always cool to me. It's just seeing somebody like go for it and like try it and try something different. Like little middle of the road. If I hear something that sounds like they're trying to get on a playlist, I'm just like, I don't give a shit. Like, this sounds boring. I want to hear something that sounds like they're doing something because they believe in it, and it's like they're pushing their own creative limits.
Yeah, I feel that too.
I'm not shit talking anybody in particular with that. I'm just in general.
Yeah, who are you talking about?
Oh my God, who am I shit talking? It could be anybody. It could be anybody. But again, those people probably make more money than me. So they probably have the right idea.
Yeah. Well, it's great to chat.
Yeah. Oh my God. It's been a minute since I've seen you.
Yeah.
But hopefully
soon. Let me know when you're back in town.
Yeah. And have a great tour.
Thank you. Yeah, you too. And
Yeah.
safe travels.
Yeah, safe travels too. Let's meet up when we're both back.
Yeah.
Cool.
Thanks for listening to the Talkhouse Podcast, and thanks to Levy White-Gluz of No Joy and Alexandra Levy of Adalea for chat. If you liked what you heard, please follow Talkhouse on your favorite podcasting platform and check out all the great stuff at talkhouse.com. This episode was produced by Myron Kaplan. The Talkhouse theme was composed and performed by The Range. See you next time.